Yesterday, we spoke about be careful. There will be a short-term pullback. You got to remember that when the market starts to expand, you are going to have the bigger pushes to the upside. And if you catch them late, you can get absolutely destroyed. And I spoke to you guys about you got to be patient for your buys. Now, what happened yesterday was we obviously shot up to 28,000, just above within Bitcoin. And then we had the pullback to around 27,500. And now what we are doing is we are sitting on support within a lot of these coins. Plus, we are getting the shorter time frame RSIs hitting the bottom. So today I'm going to be showing you guys the next trades that I've opened. I'm going to be showing you what are the next big buy zones and how you're going to be trading this market. You got to remember, big push to the upside, quick flush outs. And we got to know again, is this a real pump from Bitcoin? Is it a fake pump? And how are we going to prepare for both sides? Not only are we going to go through tons of altcoins and my buy zones and my trade setups, I got a little bit of alpha to help you guys in this market, to teach you how to trade this market. And let's keep going. Overall, we've had good trading over the last few days, and let's keep it strong. No more wasting time. I'm going to play the bull song because we need the bull to continue. Let's go.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
May the bulls stay with us. May they keep blessing us. May we start the bull market, baby. I know how we're all feeling right now. Again, you know, strong push to the upside, bit of a pullback. You get nervous, you get scary. Let's settle that all down. Let's go through the charts and let's make sure that, you know, understanding TA is just to help you remove emotions. We trade charts, we trade levels, and end of the day, we've seen a higher high on higher time frames. We've seen a few weekly break of structures, and ultimately what we're doing today is we're zooming in. And again, I'm going to make you guys ready for this bull. May it start right now, may it start, you know, pretty soon. I want you guys to know the tools that you need to do. You've seen my accounts rolling, and I'm going to continue just showing you the trades that I'm taking, and how that uncomfortability kicks in is when I'm actually opening trades. And I want us to get used to that sort of flow. So guys, if you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Again, in the comments, can we run another poll? Bullish, bearish, fake outs, or breakouts? You know, what are you feeling right now? And let's jump straight in. So the quick thing I just want to look at quickly is just obviously stock markets, and Dixie has been rampaging. So we have the Dixie rolling all the way up to 107. So obviously this is on a big rampage at the moment. We must keep look at that. That's a long streak to the upside. Very, very long streak to the upside over there. And the way you want to just roll this now is this is obviously, you know, creating a little bit of a sad stock market, and we've got to pay attention to that to see if that's going to play any role within crypto. But you do want to just keep attention to this chart to see when this can turn, and you want to put in one simple trend line. There we go. Pop to the 12-hour chart, put that in. Right now, it does have a few levels of one resistance over here at 107, 108. Currently where we're at, we have another one at 110. We don't know when this thing's going to stop. We don't need to know. We just got to pop that trend in there to see, you know, when can this thing finally slow down. We do know the RSIs are getting to the upside, and there will be some sort of pullback, but pay attention to that. And obviously pay attention to stock markets, which has lost trend a couple days back, has started the pullback to the downside. And now we just want to pay attention to the support areas here of where there could be a possible bounce. You have that support over there, you have that support and that support over there. So just have these lined up, guys. These are things that are outside of crypto, but you do need to pay attention to them. Another good thing that obviously happened over the last few days was we did have the total market cap go above $1 trillion. $1 trillion is a very important support for crypto in general. Every time we've been above $1 trillion, we've actually had quite nice momentum to the upside, and a nice little continuation. So we just want to get over and done and turn this support of this $1 trillion. So far we're above, and again, Bulls have done a good job last few days. They've stepped up. They've got through a good amount of resistance levels. We are at a critical resistance of around the 28 to 29,000 within Bitcoin. But end of the day, you know, they've started the breakouts. Now it's time for the momentum to stay. So what you want to see in this move is you want to see the aggressive moves to the upside. You want to see the fast dips. They are going to come. And that's why you got to time them correctly. But then you want quick bounces and you want continuation. You don't want stuff to linger too long. We don't like it when the market lingers. That's when they tend to drop on us pretty quickly. So we want to continue this major momentum at the moment. Let's have a look. Oof. Are we on the right mark? No, we're not. Now it should be way better. 5 minutes in and the sound. Come on. It's fine. We're getting used to bull market vibes. So that should be a lot better, guys. Is it better? Tell me in the comments if that's better. Okay, let's jump straight into it. We've got a lot of charts to go through. So now what we've done is we know where things are higher time frame, guys. Let's zoom in now and let's trade level for level and let's track the market. So what obviously went, we had the strong push to the upside and Bitcoin hit this, not really hit the major resistance. So for me, there is still the open doors of a little bit higher, but we did hit obviously important zone of around the 28,500. We got rejected. Okay. Now you want to pay attention to what previously happened. Now you had the previous highs. This is where Bitcoin was hitting and getting rejected. We finally smashed through that. And all you want to see here is a simple RS flip. You want to see something that what used to be resistance now becomes support. And you got to remember that the way crypto works is each level is when something is going sideways and we finally break it. You want to turn that into support and you just want to keep doing that. Every previous level just does that. And if we do that, we're continuing to the upside. So remember that. So when you look at this now, you want to see a few things. You want to see that we hold these supports here. Right now, the 27K is a very important bounce zone support for Bitcoin. This is where we want to see the bulls reply. And this is where we want to see a bounce over here. From here, it's very simple. We want to make our way up and we want to crack the next higher high. As long as we are indicating higher highs over here, we can continue higher lows and we can keep breaking these major levels. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see a bounce here and a possible lower high because that could indicate, possibly lower down. Now, the next thing I want you to pay attention to on the 12-hour or on the 4-hour and 12-hour chart is to put this main support trend line in. Guys, this end of the day is the momentum we are currently tracking over the last week, 2 weeks. And that's the momentum we want to hold. We lose that, cool. Then we can start looking at possible downsides. Until we are, and as long as we stay above it, all the tests that come near this line and near the supports are actually times to be loading up on your trading portfolios because your risk is low. It's teaching you to buy pullbacks and not to chase the pumps. Super important. So as things stand right now, I want to see probably a few hours of slowdown here. Reason being is because we have the 4-hour RSI coming down, but we still have the 8-hour RSI making its way down. And it's basically showing, another 5 hours or so until that will be at the bottom too. And if we have the 4-hour and the 8-hour RSIs and we hold the support, I'm expecting a bounce in this area. So maybe the next few hours, a little bit slow down, actually gives you a little bit of time to build your positions. And then we want to see the push to the upside. Now, I quickly want to show you this over here, as I think it's very important. And I just want to remind you of what we're actually doing here, longing and shorting. You're just looking at something very simple. When something is trending down, guys, something trends down here, lower highs, lower lows, indicating down. I always use that top trend line, the one that has many touches to track that momentum to the downside, right? And as soon as you see the crack, as soon as you see just a little bit of momentum shift, we start to break the trend line. It tells you something. It tells you that we've been in this momentum to the downside and something might be changing. And all of a sudden, after that, you want to see a little higher high. And then you're going to have the reverse, right? You're going to start to see that this was the trend of lower highs, lower lows. We broke the trend. We hit the higher high. We come down and we make the second low over here. So there was the first low. There's the second low. And then what you want to do is you want to put a trend line at the bottom of that. And ideally what you want to do, especially when you have a free flowing market, when the market's actually moving, guys, all you want is a top trend line when the markets are going down and a bottom trend line when the market's going up. And this will be your support trend when it's going up. And this will be your resistance when it's going down. So ideally what you are doing is, end of the day, all the previous data on the left, right? All the previous price targets. These are areas you're looking at where price can get to. We always use the previous data to see where could the next move go to, right? And it's basically just indicating that. But end of the day, your trend line is going to help you a lot with that too. So for example, if we start to go up, there we hit resistance, we bounce on support, we hit resistance, we bounce on support, and we're going, right? And all of a sudden, we hit a resistance on previous data here, and price comes down and breaks this trend. What does that mean? It meant that previously we were making higher lows, higher highs, and now that we're losing that momentum, that might change. You might drop this down now, make a lower high, and then start the downwards. And from that, you want to track that until you see the crack again. I want you guys to understand that all we want in crypto is volatility. If we got volatility, we can trade up and down, no problem. But we just want the market to move. This is going to be one of the most powerful tools that you're going to use when it comes to a bull market. Because end of the day, we're here to make money. As much as we just want these crazy levels, that's cool. But if you're losing trends, you are losing trends and we are coming down. Okay, and you got to be okay with that. This will be your indication, take some profits, no problem. Okay, and if it comes down, we enter in. And it gives you structure. Now, again, when you break this trend line, guys, on the way down, the way you do it is you're entering on support and you're entering on a break of trend, meaning something should change. So if that happens, it means no more lower lows, right? So you're putting a stop loss under the previous low. Then what happens is price goes up, makes a higher low and breaks that previous high and goes up. That's your indication to take the stop and put it, there we go, at your entry. Reduce your risk, gone. Then what happens? Price goes up, comes down, makes a low, makes a higher high again. You take this, you move it up. And same thing, until you do have a break of trend, start to reduce your position. And it's the same thing if you're shorting. If you're shorting and you break trend, you're shorting here, stop loss there. As soon as you make the high and you make the new low, this comes down, boom, reduce risk. It's just about these structures. I'm just explaining this to you guys. So when you see them on the charts, you understand, what we're talking about. So again, when it comes over here, this is the support trend line, guys. We're still pretty far from losing that at any single moment. So what you're seeing now is you're still seeing a high and you're still seeing the point of a higher low over here. And these are the points of interest here. So again, 4-hour, 8-hour RSIs need to get to the bottom. And I'm expecting a bounce over here. Very important that we make a higher high. Very important that we get to 29K at least on the next push. At least by tomorrow, I'll be back and we'll see where we are over there. Now, let's go through a few alts and go through a few coins. So same thing over here when it comes to Ethereum. There's the initial support, so no major danger, okay? But what we want to pay attention to is obviously the RS flip. So as that shows over here, this is the zone now for the 1640 for Ethereum. The previous highs over here, plus I want to remind you again on pullbacks, you want to use Fibonacci. You want to take from the low to the top and you want 618s. And you can see it's indicating the 618 is at this area too. So for me, this is the area of where the same thing. I'm seeing probably a little bit of sideways for a few hours in the zone over here, but I'm expecting a bounce within Ethereum at these zones. Where it stopped was this little resistance here, but I still think there's a little bit more upside until we had major offload areas. So for me, I'm still bullish on Ethereum, and I still think from any area over here, I still think we're going to attempt, if not the higher high, if not obviously the 1800 is my zone. Same thing, why it's taking a bit of time is I can see my 8-hour is nearly at the bottom and my 4-hour is tapped at the bottom over there. So waiting for the 8-hour to get down, see the response from that, and then we will basically jump and see the next. But Ethereum, still good, still holding strong momentum at the moment. Okay, let's get to some of my trades. So the first one that I'm loading up at the moment is THETA. For me, this was a big trend line break a few days back, and I love that big ass volume spike over there. You can see the volume. So there was interest as soon as we broke trend line. Okay, so if you look over here, end of the day, and I'm going to talk about Solana. I got the Solana trade. I'm not entering it now as I took profits a bit earlier. So what I did is I took from Sol and I'm looking at the next entries, right? And I'm shifting between the coins strength to strength and things like that. So this obviously broke a very long-term trend over there. Is what caught my interest. Secondly, when it broke that trend, created a nice little big volume spike. And now what I'm looking is a nice support buy on THETA. So if I look over here, you got something called the golden zone. So on the left was previously resistance, now support. So you got an RS flip in play. Plus it's 618 and 786. It's just that Fibonacci, guys. And this over here is highlighting the area over here. So let me show you guys my trade. There's my trades at the moment. A little bit of red. I jumped a little bit earlier yesterday, but we know, guys, I fight these areas. I survive the stops, and that's when we prosper. So again, I'm showing you these trades. So here, THETA, I have around a $90,000 position at the moment built up over there. I will build it slightly more if it does go a little bit lower, but this is where I'm accumulating. Now, if you look at the previous, we have the top wick and these areas here to give you an indication of how big these trades could be or how big the next move to the upside could be. We have the small one. The small one is just the whole market just goes back to the previous highs of where it was. Okay, so if that happens over there, I'm probably looking at the areas of around, 14% to the upside. Then we have the higher targets. And this is obviously Bitcoin goes to 29, goes a little bit higher. And if we look at that at the moment, we're looking at 23 to 37. So what do? You look at this now, you're like, okay, I have three scenarios of how this trade can play out. I can make a 15%, I can make a 20%, I can make a 40% trade. Okay, so again, same thing that will happen over here is all of a sudden, I see RSIs are down, market bounces, right? And it makes the higher high over here, and it starts to do this. Very simple. As that starts to do, I will start tracking the lows, and I'll ride the trend up until we hit a zone and we break my trend. We hit that, cool, I'll TP it out. But nonetheless, this is right at the bottom of the range and one of the juiciest trades for me at the moment. So I'm in that one. The next one I want to speak about is I'm in XRP. I think XRP, if you didn't get on it yesterday, I started building it a little bit higher over here. But end of the day, this for me is a good risk to reward if you're catching it now at these areas. Again, there is the support trend line. And this is one of the tokens that are near the closest to that, which means risk is pretty low. And this is what I'm seeing here. I'm looking at this zone. We had a previous resistance over here. We're in 618 zone now, and I'm expecting a bounce to happen over here at these areas. This one for me didn't get going fully just yet. We had the nice little spike a few days back, but I'm still looking at a possible move that can take me to this area to at least fill these gaps over here of around 60 cents. So around about a 20% trade for now is my sort of areas. Remember, stop losses. I explained it to you guys now that it's the previous lows over here. So again, I'm just going to go back there so you can remember. Super important just to understand the structure. There we go. Stop losses start here. Ooh. Hold on. There we go. Stop losses start here. As they progress, that's how they move up. So you start with a little bit of risk, you get rid of your risk, and then you get into profits. And that's how you got to use your stops when it comes to that. So if we jump back over there, XRP is one of my next ones. I will show you guys my entry. So I got a terrible entry of around 52 cents. So it's a little bit higher. I am buying this on the, the 12-hour daily sort of higher time frame. So I'm willing to survive stops and things like that. But there's my XRP, also valued at $90,000. I actually got 3 positions here. As I got a small stop on Doge yesterday with that stupid wick. We'll speak about it in a second. So I re-entered it. It's not as big. My last position was 180K. This is a 93K position. But again, if we get a bounce where I'm looking at now, I'll wait for a continuation pattern. And when that plays out, I'll add and I'll make the position bigger. So remember, this is important. When you're going to add to your positions, when you're going to start your positions. Very important. Reversals where you want to start. Continuation is where you want to add. So don't feel pressurized that you have to enter 100% of whatever you wanted into that trade. No, you start off with 30%, and as you get continuation patterns, you start to add it in. There's time. There's time with that, and it just comes down to the strategy and the structure. So XRP is my next one. Then what I have is my Fantom that I'm starting to build. This one, I'm actually starting to build it now in for the BitGate comp at the moment. So I'm starting to build the Fantom position over here as well. It's a little bit of a smaller account, not going crazy degen as I'm like super big on a lot of my other positions, as you can see. So at the moment over here, this one looks juicy. This is why I spoke about Fantom. This one really smashed the higher high over there. So you could see there was the previous trend. I just want to highlight it. There's the trend, smash through that high over there. Now I'm waiting for this low. And if I look over here, this is the RS flip. So I'm looking at a bounce over here. And then from here, I'm looking at the push to these higher targets over here of around 22 cents. And we do obviously have the higher targets. But the main thing that I'm focused on here, guys, is to get the secondary low. If I got the secondary low, I can now all of a sudden take a trend line and I can pop that under and I can ride this thing until we break that trend line. I can ride it for as high as it wants to go. And that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? Just to get that secondary low over there. But this is juicy. Definitely medium time frames, breaking structure looking good. Now, next one that I'm building, okay, and I'll be showing you guys this position tomorrow, is BNB. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm going to take probably the next 5 hours to build this position. I take quite a bit of time. I know Craig knows I take a lot of time to build my positions. I don't just build them straight away. So BNB is the next one. Reason being, obviously being quite quiet. But again, we look at where it is now. I see a perfect play of a slight higher high here, break of trend. Here's the retest zone. So this would be your initial stop losses under this low here. And what are you looking for? You're looking for your secondary low. So this over here. Nice little bounce. As soon as we get a higher high over there, then I'm able to put my trends in and have my new momentum trend lines. I do have targets of 240, 250. So around, 15, 20% for now. You can see I'm not going crazy bull just yet until we, I'll go crazy bull once we're above 30K, to be honest. But for now, we're getting entries, and maybe we do hold them for long. We'll see how the market plays out. But this is the next one that looks really good to me is BNB. Then let's go through a few updates over here. Let's have a look at Solana. So obviously Solana, nice little positive day again. 3% up at the moment. They are, I'm not speaking about buy zones now. My buy zones are all the way down here again. I'm out. We got the trade, and now we're going to be happy for now. But if you are holding, there are a few areas here. So the one thing I want you to pay attention to, again, it comes down to patterns and just seeing what's happening. If you look at this, there's quite a bit of resistance over here when it comes to around the $25, for Sol. So what you want to pay attention to is this area over here. It actually gave like a nice little cup, right? And then you can see this big head forming over here. So maybe what happens here is maybe there is a pullback that comes at some point within Sol, and it might create this inverse. And if that happens, this is the areas of where I'm paying attention to, and we'll speak about those buys. And then this could explode. Okay, so that is one scenario. So the reason why I'm saying that is because you never got the Sol pump. There might be time for myself and you to get back into our positions. Okay, for now it's looking strong. So that's one play. Second play over here is what you want to see now is just a simple thing. If it's going full bull now, resistance into support. So you want to see something like this. Let me zoom in so you can see better. You want to basically see the shoot through here, turn this into support, and you basically want to see this rampage of it eventually, hopefully getting through this wick over here. If so, you're looking at $40, slightly higher. But that's the super bull method over there. And then we can go super bearish. Okay. But end of the day, yes, just pay attention to here. So again, it's too expensive to buy now, but it is good. And what I showed you guys here is these resistances. Again, it just shows you gaps of where price can speed up. That's it. So what it's saying is 25, and then you got 28.60. So just expect it to fight you. And you can see the wicks. You can see it's fighting at this level. There's a sell wall there. But if it manages to get through that sell wall, I do see price speeding up pretty quickly to around the 28. And if we get to 28, pretty quick to the 20 to the 32. So these are usually areas to slightly offload, but do expect a little bit of turbulence or a little bit of fight happening in these areas. But if we get through it, that's the speed up spots over there. So Sol definitely looking powerful. And to be honest, why it's looking powerful, I'll actually go down here to the bottom and see where's that other chart. There we go. It's because we have Bitcoin on the side. Look at that. So the fact that you have dominance going up, you have Solana beating Bitcoin right now. And that's why it's just looking crazy at the moment. And what's actually quite interesting is I want to take a fib here. That's really near 618. So technically, we should reject here to Bitcoin, which means Sol will lose a little bit of steam. But obviously, if it gets through this, it's very likely I can go break highs. So let's keep an eye on Solana and see what's happening there at the moment. Then a few other ones. Yes, so let's quickly update on my Doge. So the Doge, that little wick hit me yesterday. So I took a little bit of a stop loss hit. I managed to build a position again, similar in these areas. But if you look at it, guys, this over here, that's the actual wave. Okay. And this right now is in 618. So again, I'm building. There's my support trend. As long as we're above and we're near support, I'm not afraid to build positions. It is in the 618 and 786, Fibonacci zone over there. So I'm just building this position over here. And what we did have as well, we had this top trend that it's currently retesting beautifully at the moment. So again, what I want to see here is my major stops will now be in this area. And I just want to see the secondary secondary low kick in. And if that happens, I can put my new trend in and I can track that up. So I'm still bullish on Doge, just giving it some time, and I'm just surviving the stops. I'm sure you guys can see when you enter a position, it's about survival first. Once you get through survival, then eliminate risk, then you make the money. So it's not just enter and make money. It doesn't work like that. You got 2 steps to get through that. Then one of the tokens that are waking up pretty good today is 𝗏𝗡. So 𝗏𝗡's looking a little bit coiled up. If there could be another pullback to around 55, I think that would be the great zone. Remember, you would have a little bit of risk in the beginning because you'd have to pop your stop all the way there until you have the second low in and you're going in. Then you can move your stop loss up, right? But 𝗏𝗡 is definitely looking strong, especially if you got it. It broke a nice trend a few days back, and it's quite a big trend, actually. The one that came all the way, wow, look at that trend, all the way from 1.5. So that's a great long trend to the downside. So it's a key area to be paying attention to. Second thing is keep a little bit of eye of volume starting to slightly come in. So that's interesting over there. And now we zoom in and we look at where we're at. So what it did, again, there's the previous resistance. It's bounced on support. So if I look at this, the bullish play that I want to see here is obviously this continue to these areas over here of around, 65. And obviously we get through that, we can be looking at higher around 76. So risk to reward, pretty good. At the moment, especially for the higher targets over here. So yes, this is definitely one of the coins to keep your eyes on. We then have a little bit of gaming waking up. So I think we're going to start adding a bit more gaming if we continue to see this rally at the moment. We're seeing a bunch of gaming tokens wake up. So again, we have Gala doing around 9% for the day. So remember, guys, it comes down to timing to make money now. You don't want to chase the pumps too much, but you want to keep eyes on the tokens that are moving so that when there is a pullback or they are in zone, you can load up. But end of the day, great trend, great volume. It's exactly what you want to see. And this is actually one of the perfect plays of the way I want you to see your trades play out. So right now, this is probably on its way. It's got a little bit of resistance here. Probably on its way to around 1.9 cents. So, it's a nice 15% still away. Risk reward's terrible to enter the trade right now. But this is exactly how you want to see your trades play out. You want to see something break out, make the higher high, retest it, and go. And that's what you want to see out of a lot of the coins now that are in the zones and are looking very similar. So you know what you want to do, guys. Sometimes it's not always about getting that trade. It's about saying, wow, that trade played out perfect. So I actually want to print that and put it in the wall because that's how I want my trades. Like that's what you want to see your trades do when they happen. And if your trade's not doing that over time, you can start reducing pretty quick and get to the next one that gives you that. But that's how it plays out. I see Bitcoin 27.6. We should get the bounce. Any else over here? Okay, cool. So guys, that is my trades for now. Tomorrow we will know, are we still in a higher low, higher high? So what I'm saying is I think the next 3-4 hours are going to be a little bit quiet. And then I do see a bounce. I do see us pushing. We want Bitcoin to break 28.5. We'll see how quick that happens. If we get the higher high by tomorrow, guys, we're on. There's a lot more to go. So for now, I'm in Fantom, XRP, THETA, and Doge. These are the ones that I'm building at the moment. Have a little bit of bigger stops. As soon as we can get that higher low today, we get that higher high, we can pump those stops up and we can be, risk-free and we can ride it strong. Amazing. Guys, have a fantastic day and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.